Okay, this lesson is gonna be about arrays. I'll probably make separate videos on array lists and two-dimensional arrays, but right now we'll just look at arrays, okay? An array is basically a way to organize like data, okay? And so this is a worksheet that I go through. I'll put it up on the news section, and you guys can look it over. But let's say I have integers that I want to store in one value, okay? Let's say I've got the numbers 1, whoops, gotta put on my sketch screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay, so our array is populated with these numbers, all right? What I always tell students, first thing, whenever you see an array, you always need to put in the index, okay? With programming, we always start with index position 0. You start at 0 and you count up, okay? A little different than usually you start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on. With arrays and with strings, you always start at index position 0. So right here, if we want to define an array of numbers, we just say int. Okay, and there's our bracket, numbers, and that would equal, and then you wrap the braces around it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is kind of a bad one, so let me redo that. So what this has done is this has populated a numbers integer array with 9 different values, okay? And you can see the values that are stored in it, okay? Notice how these are all comma separated, okay? That separates the values. Next thing we need to know about our array is the length. How long is it? Okay, well, how many numbers are in it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The length is 9. There are 9 values in it, all right? Don't get that confused with the last element in your index, okay? That's why, what is there's a few things that are important. We need to know the length of our array, we need to know the start position, and we need to know the end position. So what is the index and value of the first element? So the index of the first element is always 0. That's where it starts, okay? And the first element, the value of that first element at position 0 is 1. And the last index is index 8. That's position 8. And its value is 13. Okay? So all those numbers are going to be important for us, all right? We're going to want to remember that, all right? Use this numbers dot length. It will help you out a lot, all right? So I need to actually delete that, close this, and move down my screen to answer these questions. So what is the relationship between the length of your array and the index of the last element? So my length was, if my numbers dot length, okay, if that's my length, then what is my relationship with the last element? Well, that's just length minus 1. So it's really, the length would give me 9, and then minus 1, that would equal 8. Index position 8 is my last element in my array here, okay? So for here, I'm just going to go through a few examples that I give students when I'm introducing arrays. Write a loop that adds up all the elements in your array and stores them in a variable called total, okay? So we need to define our variable int total, and we'll say that's equal to 0, all right? From last chapter, we did loops. So with arrays, we always want to loop through each element of the array. So for int I equals 0, I is going to be less than numbers dot length. Okay. And then we say I minus minus. Okay, so what this is going to do is this is going to go 0 through 8. 8 is our last position. Then, sorry, this needs to be plus plus. Then it will add up to the ninth one. Is 9 less than or equal to 9? Because the length is 9, right? And that wouldn't be true, so we would be done here. And so all we're going to do is we're going to say total plus equals numbers in position I. Okay, and that will add up all of our numbers, and then we can do something like system dot out dot print ln, and then we would print the total. And so each time through, it's looking in position 0. So in position 0, the value was 1, and so 1 gets added to total. 0 plus 1 is now 1. And then it comes back up, adds 1 to I becomes 1. Is 1 less than or equal to length? Then we look at numbers in position 1, which was 2. So total is 1. 1 plus 2 equals 3 now, and it does this all the way through, and it will add all those up. Okay, pretty easy so far. Let me move down my screen. Okay, let's see here. It says write a loop that displays your array backwards. Now, it doesn't say to create a brand new array and store the information backwards. It just says to display my array backwards. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a for loop. Okay, and now remember, in the last one we went from position 0 to 8 and we added all those values up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say I is equal to the last position, and the last position was numbers dot length minus 1. And now I can do, as long as it's greater than or equal to 0, I minus minus. So we're actually going to count down this time. Okay? And all I have to do now is just system dot out dot print ln, and I can say numbers. Sorry, that's not going to have that there. Let me erase that. Let me erase that. Numbers and so what it's doing is it's starting off, the length is 9. 9 minus 1 gives us 8 here. Is 8 greater than or equal to 0? Yes. So then, and you know what? Probably want to do this. We want to print them backwards, so let's just make it a print, and then we could do plus a blank in here. There. Now, okay, so let's do this again. So numbers is 9. 9 minus 1 is 8. 8 is greater than or equal to 0. okay? And so it would print whatever's in position 8, which I think was 13, okay? And since it's a print, it's, it's just going to stay on this line. But 8 now becomes 7 because I minus 8 minus 1 is 7. Is 7 greater or equal to 0? Yes, that's true. So it would print whatever's in position 7, which I think was 12. Okay, so it's printing 13, then 12. Okay. All right, write a loop that adds up all the elements in your array and stores them in a variable called total. Skip elements that are larger than 10. So this is basically like question 7, only it's just a little bit different. So I'm going to have an int total equals 0. Okay, then I'm going to do a for loop for int I equals 0. I is less than numbers dot length, and I'll do I plus plus. Okay, and right here I need an if statement. If my numbers at position I, if they're less than or equal to 10, then I want to add them up. Total plus equals numbers in position I. Okay. And just system dot out dot print ln the total plus total. So what this is doing is this one, we start off numbers is 9. Is 0 less than 9? Yes, that's true. It checks to see what's in position 0, which would be 1. Is 1 less than or equal to 10? Yes, so it adds it up, okay? It would do this until I think we got to 11, and it wouldn't add up the rest of them. It wouldn't add up 11, 12, and 13. Would it add up what's in position, or would it add up 10? Absolutely. I can't remember what position that was, but that's how you do this one, okay? And let me erase this. We got one more we can do. We'll call it a day, all right? And the answers will be on the back here if you guys want to open this up and print it and then practice it on your own. Sketchpad. All right, calculate the average of your elements and store it in a variable called average. Okay. First, average has got to be a double, so I'm going to call it double average. All right. And let's say total is also a double as well. I don't want to run into division issues with integers, okay? So we've got 4. So what is this doing? Calculates the average of your elements and stores it in a variable called average. All right, so for int I is going to equal 0. I is less than the numbers dot length I plus plus. Okay. It's hard drawing these out. All right. So now what we want to do is we want to go total plus equals numbers at position I. Okay. So that gives us our total. And then all we have to do is say average equals the total divided by my numbers dot length. Okay, our length is 9. There's 9 values in our array. That's true. So this would add them all up. Then this would divide it by 9. And then, you can do just a simple print system.out dot println average plus average. Okay, and like I said, delete this. The answers are right here, so you guys can print these out and practice this if you want. If you just want to watch the video, if you got any questions, shoot me some questions. But arrays can get difficult. It just kind of depends on what you're doing, but there's a lot of stuff you can do with this. So practice these and send me some questions if you had it. Okay, thanks. Bye.